put us all on the map.
Oh man, Pac-Man, that's my boy right there.
And he said, Naheem, did you ever think you would be on the same field as AP? And my answer was literally hell no.
Nobody tell me what I ain't gonna be no more.
Hey, even to this day, OJ don't want no problem.
OJ, that's my dog though, man. For real. Respect.
What's happening? It's your boy Cody.
It's your boy Will Richardson.
And we're pleased to welcome you into another episode of the Sideline Story Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by the good folks at TGK Athletics. The TGK Grind Lab is Maine's #1 training facility for youth athletes specializing in football and basketball. Visit tgkathletics.com or download the TGK app for more info. So we got a very special guest in the house today, somebody I had the privilege of growing up with and watching him play and watching his career take off.
That I heard about throughout my whole time in high school as well.
Yep. Also, our first basketball player on the Sideline Story Podcast. This dude right here, he played at Wake Forest, played at Southern Cal, has one of the coldest hoop mixtapes ever, and I mean ever.
Yeah,
my
definitely can be considered a North Carolina phenom in his time.
Certified bucket, JT Terrell.
Yes.
Yo.
What's up, my boy?
What's going on?
Sure.
Can't call it.
Hey, JT, I guess the first thing that we've been asking our guests on the Sideline Story is just, what have you been going on during this whole quarantine time? Like, what's been the good? What's been the worst part about it? Just talk to us about what you got going on during this time.
Man, I would say the worst part was, missing out on the season, man. Yeah. That right there really hurt. But, turning the negative into a positive, I've just been back on my off-season grind. So, luckily I've been able to come home and I got a gym and I got a weight room so that I can work out in so I can stay in shape.
That's for sure, bro. Yeah, and the same thing this way is just, just day by day, trying to make sure you stay productive. Just make sure you're doing something that's going to be productive. And like for me, it's just, making sure every day I wake up, I do my virtual meetings, I get into the weight room and just eating right,
Yes, sir.
I feel like the hardest part for me is just kind of just like everything being closed, stuff starting to open back up now and everything. But we also got another problem that's going on in America with this whole thing going on in Minnesota.
We've been dealing with that problem for many years now.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Here in Jacksonville, we actually just got an alert through our phone. Me and Cody, he down here with me now, and we just got an alert saying that Jacksonville's on curfew tonight, starting at 8 o'clock until 6 a.m. in the morning because of some police cars getting flipped. Just protesting downtown, going crazy, bro.
I'll be safe out there, man. I was on my way back home from the gym and seeing that they had a big crowd of people out at North Park protesting and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's crazy out here, man.
It's getting crazy everywhere, man.
Mm-hmm. So, JT, tell our fans where you were at prior to, the COVID-19 hitting and, where you were preparing to play.
I was out in Melbourne, Australia, when I found out about the virus and stuff that was going on. And I thought, maybe I seen the NBA had got canceled and they hadn't canceled our season yet. But actually, the night before our first game, when the season was supposed to take off, they canceled the season, bro. So I didn't even get to get a game in. Then we stayed for probably a couple more weeks, and then we came back down to North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it literally shut the entire world down. But you're right. Once the NBA, I think the NBA was like one of the first things that sports organizations just like say we're putting stuff on pause. After that, everybody was just following. It seemed like.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
That was a smart thing to do, though, man.
Oh yeah, for real, safety first.
It's crazy just to think about, like, what I'm saying. We hear when everything happened, like actually, like when everything started to hit hard. I was in Aruba, and it started hitting hard, and they shut everything down there. So it's like just crazy to think about, like, how this virus impacts not only what we got going on here, but all the way in Australia is impacting people.
Yeah, because they was closing the borders, bro, and they was telling us, like, y'all either got to leave or, you might be trapped here for another 6 to 8 months. Ain't no telling.
So that's why a lot of people, like, who was it playing overseas ball and stuff like that, is that why they came back? Because they didn't know how long, this was going to be.
Exactly. Exactly. That was the best move, was to come back home, man, because, the world's still messed up, and they just telling us, 30 days by 30 days. But, I mean, you see where we at now. It really ain't no telling. And I'd rather be home than in a foreign country, where I'm comfortable.
So what's the plan for you moving forward? Are you planning on going back to Australia or?
Yeah, that's the plan, man. And the deal that's still on the table is, so that's what I was saying. I'm just trying to treat this time like the off-season grind. So, when the world open back up and the season ready to take off, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm with that 100%.
Out there in Melbourne, you ever been out to Sydney since you've been out there?
Nah, man, that's about 8 hours away. So I hadn't had time to do that yet. But that's in the plans, when our weekends off or something like that, taking the family there.
An 8-hour drive or a flight?
Drive.
The 8-hour drive, okay. That's dope, bro. Yeah, that's like, I had to ask because that's like one of my dream places to visit, bro, Sydney, Australia.
It's cool, bro. They say it's like L.A.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like, and the thing is, like, the one thing that makes me think about it the most is freaking Nemo, bro. Like, some Wallaby Way, Sydney. That's all I remember it from. Bro. But ever since that movie, bro, like, I just been like, yo, I want to go to Sydney. Like, it's a must.
Sydney. They say that's a dope city, bro.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, you said so your family and everything's out there with you in Melbourne.
Yeah, man. I travel with my wife and our twins.
Okay. Oh, twins. That's dope, bro. What you got? A boy, girl, 2 boys?
Boy, girl.
Oh,
okay.
Sure. That's crazy.
How old are they now?
They 2 years and 3 months now.
Oh, you got your hands full.
Man. All day, every day.
Which one worse, bro? Which one bad?
They both good. I'm gonna say my daughter is the aggressor and the leader of the two, though.
but it's because she can get away with it, right?
Yeah, for sure, and she know it now too. She know it.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that, JT. Like how fatherhood, we hear it from a lot of people that say it changes your outlook on life. Talk about how it affected you.
It do for real, man, and the way that it probably changed my life the most is it slowed me down from ripping and running a lot. It make you focus in. It's a newfound motivation because you're not just living for yourself no more. Like everything that you do every single day, every move, business move, whatever you make, is for your kids' future. Mm-hmm. So when you looking at life like that, it's not a game no more. So it's like, all right, I got to focus in on my craft and I got to do what works for me. And, life got real. Yeah. And then on top of that, I'm married too. So it's like, me and my wife, as far as my wife too,
Yep, just making sure, like, just having a wife and kids just make you want to go hard.
Got a home you got to provide for, brother.
Exactly, bro. And just being that you're talking about that is like, being in the NFL, bro, like people always say, what's the biggest thing? What's the biggest difference now that you're out of college and you in the league? I'm like, off gates. Like, I'm out here going against grown men who trying to feed their families too. You feel me, bro? That's what I tell people. Like, every day I go out in the field, like I know that I'm going to get somebody. I don't got kids. I don't got a wife, but I know I'm going to get somebody or fighting for a spot against somebody that got 2-3 kids and got a whole family.
Actually, my kids in the stands watching me. So by any means necessary,
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it. I honestly hadn't felt this passionate about basketball until I had my kids.
That's crazy, bro.
It's like now you can't lose. I can't lose.
Yeah.
I'm back against the wall every night.
Yep. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know it's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? Everybody say, you know what I'm saying? You got your moms looking at you. You got your pops looking at you. You got your friends looking at you. But I know it's a big difference having your kids looking at you. I know you want to set the standard very high for them.
Yeah, exactly. Give them something to dream and look forward to, something to chase.
No doubt. So let's. I want to take it back a little bit, JT. Let some of our fans know like a little bit about you and your upbringing. So I know you're from Burlington, just like we are, and you grew up. You went to our high school for 3 years, and you actually went to the same middle school as Will. You went to Turntime. Talk about growing up in Burlington and how that was for you.
Growing up in Burlington was cool, man. It was fun. And, I got to experience both sides of town, especially going to school at Turnerton and then going across town to school at Cummins. So it was cool, man. It was small town. Everybody know each other. So, it's really hard to not make friends or to not be social and get invited out to social events and stuff like that. So, honestly, to me, bro, my friends, it's like we was one big family, bro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely the type of city. It's so small that you kind of just like, you grow up, you end up going to high school playing with all the kids that you played with in rec ball, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Play basketball or football, y'all gonna end up touching a court, a field, or something together, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And your parents did the same before y'all did it. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I mean? Everybody really know each other. It's just crazy.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, I know, like you know what I'm saying, I spent some time in a place before I went to Burlington, but I know you were in Burlington, but I know you ended up spending some time in Charlotte. But I was in Virginia, and then I came to Burlington, and I noticed that Danville's a very divided city, Then I came to Burlington, and I noticed that, like, rec league, like I said, like rec league, you playing with everybody you're going to play with in middle school, high school, you build friendship from the bottom, And
it's a lot of love here.
Yeah,
for real. A lot of people, like for our listeners out here, don't know JT. He actually played for my rec league football team. He was an age group ahead of me, but he was a cold quarterback. Like a lot of people don't realize that JT was out here playing quarterback.
I miss those days, man. Yeah, I wish I could have tried to figure out if it was a way that I could play both in college, man. But the schedule would just be too busy. You can't do that. But. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, football is a fun sport, man.
So I was having a conversation with Will. I think we were talking yesterday, and he was talking about how when he went to Turnerton and they went like undefeated in basketball, like how they had the best team. And I told him, like, your team was pretty cold too when you came through that middle school.
Oh yeah, we had some killers on my squad, man. Some killers and some shooters, man. We was good. I think we won it. We won it both years, 7th and 8th grade.
Okay, so I got to Burlington at the end of my 7th grade year, so I probably got here the end of basketball season, so I didn't get to do nothing here my 7th grade year. But then my 8th grade year, I came in. We ended up going 6-0 in football, and then we ended up winning the DARE tournament against Eastern Alaman. So it was pretty smooth. I love Turnerton, bro, and it was like you had mentioned. It's just good. I kind of saw both sides of the city, bro. I kind of got the life of both sides.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I talked about on previous pods, that decision to actually stay at Cummings and not go to Williams was probably the best decision I made in my life. But just touching on that, just talk about your whole decision just to leave Cummings and just how you furthered yourself in basketball and high school, and you just turned into a phenom, bro. All the videos you go on YouTube and watch, anywhere you go search JT Terrell, that you'll find him breaking
cold.
Dunking on
killer. The thing about that is, man, that it was a personal decision. Like it was a goal that I was trying to reach, and that was my reason for leaving. Like I didn't want to leave because I felt like I could get another ring my senior year there. But as far as like my decision, my dad had been trying to get me to come to Charlotte and play in that conference because it was the best conference and the toughest conference in North Carolina at the time that they were saying. And a lot of critics and stuff like that was ranking me the number 2 shooting guard in the state because they were saying that the conference in Burlington wasn't as tough, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, okay, he's putting up 25, he's putting up 30 and doing this, but the conference not that tough. So, okay, y'all say that I can't put these numbers up in the toughest conference in North Carolina. So I'm going to go there and I'm going to do that plus some more just to let y'all know what it really is. So that was my whole decision on why I had left Cummings.
For sure.
It was never nothing against the school or anybody in that like that.
Yeah. Because, when I was in Cummings, bro, like, honest to God, bro, it was very, very rarely any bad said about you. It was just questions everywhere. Like, why'd he do it? Why this? I just wanted to hear from you know what I'm saying, bro? I done had big decisions in my life on college and high school, choosing to stay at Cummings rather than to go to Williams, big decisions like that. And what I hate more than anything is the people to sit here and assume stuff rather than come and ask me. So I want to go ahead and ask you myself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, sir.
Triple, bro.